Welcome to Agile Essentials session. The slogan of Agile is build smarter, deliver faster, adapt with confidence. Agile is not just a process, it's a mindset. The meaning is, say, Agile, there's a Scrum team. The team is dedicated army. They don't work whatever work assigned to them. They always see that the sprint goal we have to achieve. So everyone work towards the delivery of the software and bug-free code. So that's why the Agile team member should have a mindset. We are working for a goal, not like just accomplishing my personal goals. So that how the Agile helps the teams to work in shorter goals. That means focus on the current sprint and deliver the bug-free code that's called potentially shippable, and see that so that can be demoed and then that can be released quickly. So responding to change, if there is any changes comes in the requirements, accept it and fix it, build it, right, and keep improving. This course gives you hands-on information about Agile and Scrum, and is explaining why it works and also how to use Agile effectively in our software projects, right? So what we are learning here is so deliver the results in short sprints. I think the first time we are using the term sprint. Sprint meaning the fixed duration. So this changes from organization to organization. Some organizations they use even a 1 week sprint, and some organizations 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Majority of the organizations they use 2 week sprint. So in the 2 weeks, what they will do, they will take a small task, get the requirements, plan it, design it, develop it, test it, demo it, and release it. See, that's what delivery results in short sprint. Also, you have to see whether Agile is required for your thing, because majority of the organizations they will be taking partial Agile implementation. Example, they will do backlog and they will do sprint planning, but they will not do any daily scrum, or they will not do sprint review or retrospection or something like that. So we have to see what is suitable for your organizations. And the Scrum roles here, product owners, Scrum Master, team members, we are going to talk in detailed way about each role and their responsibilities in coming videos. Work as a cross-functional team. This is very, very important. In waterfall method, we saw that there's a requirement team. They work only on requirements. And once they pass on to the design team, they will not involve what is going on design team, and design team is not bothered about development team, and testing team never interact with the requirements team or something. But in Agile, all the people, developer, tester, business analyst, everyone involves in every meeting, and everyone will have the same level of knowledge about the project. Here, example, let us say developer done his development, he has a free time, then he will go and test it and help the testers. And tester is done his testing, and he can go and work, help in documentation. See, that is the collaboration, right? The team is having. That's why I call it as a dedicated army of that sprint goal or that Agile project or something. Again, we are saying that whether your organization required Agile or not, you have to say, decide if it's like a regulatory or compliance project, then you don't need Agile. You can go for waterfall. So once again, we'll see that what are the difference between Agile and waterfall. Planning, one big upfront plan in waterfall, right? The planning done once and then again it will not be reviewed. But here planning evolves as the project goes. Delivery only at the end, only end of the project we can see the delivery. But here we are talking about sprint. End of the every sprint we can see the delivery, right? And feedback only after the release of the project or the delivery of the project only we can see the you can get the feedback. But here every sprint, so the feedback is given and you can quickly fix it and build it and deliver it. Risk, The risk also, the problem show up only late. But here, every sprint, if there any risk is there, address it, fix it, again, deliver it. Customer input. The customer is involved in waterfall projects only at the beginning of the projects, at the end of the projects. But whereas in here, and every sprint review, the customer is involved and he will be seeing what is delivered and what are the missing, and he gives the feedback and suggestions so that team can address those issues quickly. Scope change, we have talked many times. That is hard to make any changes to scope. This is very, very hard because let us say the tester is suggested something, then it has to go to requirements team. They have to make changes. Then it has to go to development design team. Then once they make designs, then it has to go to development team. So each change, what kind of bugs it, increase, right? We don't know. That's why generally in waterfall, the changes to scope is discouraged, right? So far we have been talking about Agile and Scrum. Agile is a umbrella. Under that, there are various methods are defined. One is, if you say EXP is extreme programming, DS is dynamic systems development method, and FDD is a feature driven method. I think feature driven delivery, like that Scrum and Crystal, Kanban. There are various methods are there, and the extreme programming and Scrum are popular. But in these two also, the Scrum is very, very popular. That's the reason many people talk about Scrum methodology more than other methods, right? So coming to this, so this is the difference. Scrum is under the umbrella of Agile, right? So let us look at Agile Manifesto. Agile here, that orange, the sentences are related to Agile, and here these things, this color maybe they call it purple color or pink color. So they are related to waterfall, right? What we are saying is individuals and interactions are very important. My Scrum team is very important, and the interactions with the other teams is important. Here, but he's talking about more processes and tools and all processes. Is one after other. It has to go. The process should be followed, and the tools we have to use Visual Studio or Eclipse or Visio or something. All those things. But here, working software is very important than producing a comprehensive documentation. And customer collaboration is very important. Interacting team with the customer and understanding his requirements very important than contract negotiation and respond to change. This also we talked more about this. So waterfall says just follow the given path, no more changes to the requirements or scope. But here says, okay, respond to the change, accept the change, and build it and deliver it, right? This thing. Now let us move on to Scrum team. The slogan here is deliver faster, adapt smarter, improve teams, empower teams, right? The Scrum is the most widely used Agile framework. That's what we already talked about. And it helps teams that manage complex work, deliver value quickly. That's in what we're exactly talking about is sprint goals, and adapt continuously. So you have to keep on increasing, improving your skills and deliver the results faster than previous sprints like that. Scrum equal to repeating cycles. See, we talked about sprint. Sprint, many people using different names. Sprint, iteration, and incremental, and cycles kind of thing, right? This Scrum is that repeating cycles, that is repeating sprints kind of thing. And each sprint we already told. So we'll take a small task. For that, we'll do plan, build, review, and improve, right? So I think the following image will give you more clarity about what is the sprint. How these things are working in the sprint or something. Each cycle in sprint we already talked about. The sprint is a fixed time and fixed duration that can be 2 weeks long or 4 weeks long. That depends on the organizations. Majority of the organizations they go with the 2 week sprint, right? And turning ideas into working products is the main goal of Scrum team. Here we already saw that waterfall method, right? So their various teams are working, and the teams are working in silos, and some teams work only at one stage. Example, the planning and requirements may be working at the beginning of the projects. The design and development teams are working middle of the projects. The testing is working at the end of the project. So at a given time, they will be working only at one stage only. They will not be entire throughout the project. They are not involved in waterfall method. But here in sprint, you see that in 2 week sprint, we are taking a small task. We are doing requirements gathering, we are designing, we are developing, testing, deploying, and review. And if during review any sessions comes, we enhance. And so this is the release. We improve that here. Again, for next sprint, we are going taking again another set of small tasks, and we are planning, designing, developing, testing, and going. And during testing, any bugs comes, we'll fix within the sprint team. And generally, we'll never pass on any bugs found in the sprint moving to another sprint. So this is how. That's why the clarity, transparent is very clear in this Scrum methodology, Scrum process. That's why people prefer the Scrum or Agile methodology over the waterfall. So how industries are adopting Agile? So Agile adoption by 2025, if you see, organizations using Agile in some form or other, it's 97% they are using. The professionals using Agile in their work, about 95% of the people are using Agile. Organizations using software development life cycle, about 71%. Organizations with full Agile transformation, completely Agile, is not like only partial or something, 100% they're using, about 18%. And so we are talking very great about Agile, right? Can you tell me what are the projects, used, which companies are using Agile and what are the successful projects? If you ask me, there are a lot of projects, but let me list down few here. Spotify, they use the Agile. They had a squad-based Scrum to build the music streaming platform. And Microsoft, we all know the products and all. They adopted Scrum for building Microsoft Azure DevOps and some parts of the Office 365. And Google uses Agile and Scrum process to build the Gmail, Google Ads, and improving using continuous feedback from the people. So with the people, like customers who are like us, whatever we suggest, they're adapting the changes. They're not saying, no, 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 we no more changes to our product. So that's the beauty of the Agile and Scrum. Amazon using for development of AWS and Prime Alexa, and Salesforce, they using Agile Scrum methodology for CRM platform improvements. The Dutch bank, they transitioned 3,005 employees from waterfall to Agile teams. These are the some of the projects. We can list down, there are a lot of projects, but I'm listing down few. This graph shows, you can see this red line is talks about risk risk of failure. See, when the project is increasing, the risk of failure is more in Agile. And this talks about the end product. The end product is this is the one. But when the project moving from this stage to this stage, there's no clue how is it going on. Whether it is the end product can be seen or not, no idea. But when you see waterfall, the beginning of the project risk is high. When the project is, when we are incrementally delivering the results, then we can see the result and also the risk is reducing. So this gives why Agile is preferred over waterfall, right? So Thank you very much for watching this video. In next video, let us discuss more about Scrum methodology. Thank you. Thank you very much.